Hounds of Shor, oath over the old forest. In those days when Atmora was a realm of forests and steppes, Shor, the great shepherd and warrior, led his people across the green expanses. There was no distinction then between gods and mortals, though not everyone saw it that way. With him were his hounds, Stuan, Sun, and Trin, born of the breath of the world and his will, when names had yet to divide sky from earth. Their pelts glowed with primal strength. Stuan's was gray, mottled like rocks beneath the wind. Sun's was brown, patterned with shadows. Trin's was golden, like sunlight on the grass. Each bore 4 eyes. 2 gazed upon the world of the living. 2 pierced the realm of shades. For Shor had made them guardians of the souls that followed him. Stuan was the embodiment of might and endurance. His howl thundered like rolling storms. His paws carved furrows in the earth. At times, he could fly, which naturally baffled even the wisest elders. Sun was agile and tireless, his steps silent, his form lithe. At times he could sleep, though no one could fathom how that aided him in battle. Trin, the youngest of the brothers, was fierce and proud, his golden pelt blazing in combat, like flame. And it was this very beauty that drew misfortune upon him. The elves attacked yet again, led by their chieftain, whose eyes gleamed with greed at the sight of the golden hound.
"This beast will be mine,"
he declared, ignorant of what lay within Trin. And he drove his warriors against the men. On that day, filled with blood and cries, Shor fell, yet again. His heart was torn out, his body collapsed upon the grass, and the elves surged forward to desecrate his remains, as if they'd do anything else. But Stuan and Sun stood over their lord. Stuan growled, his 4 eyes ablaze, and he leapt upon the foe, rending them with claws, sometimes soaring aloft to sow chaos from above. Sun darted through the shadows, his fangs finding their mark, until the steppe ran red. Trin, the youngest, fought fiercely, but the elven chieftain coveted his pelt. The elves surrounded the golden hound, and he battled on, his howl echoing across the field. Seizing Shor's heart in his jaws, Trin tried to break free, but the enemy overwhelmed him with numbers and dragged him away captive, though the elves later swore he surrendered just to avoid further fighting. Stuan and Sun howled after him, but they could not abandon their lord's body. Shor, son of Shor, a young warrior whose father took his name, came to the battlefield as the wind carried away the last cries. He saw his father's body, ringed by dead elves, and the 2 hounds standing guard. Their fur was soaked in blood, their 4 eyes each shining with loyalty and sorrow. Stuan raised his head and let out a low, deep howl. Sun stepped closer, his movements soft, though some say he nearly dozed off right there. Shor knelt, his hand resting on their bloodied pelts.
"You protected him,"
he said, his voice trembling with grief and pride.
"You are not hounds, but my brothers, sons of Shor by blood and grass."
From that day, Stuan and Sun became more than beasts. Their animal strength remained, but a spark ignited in their eyes, granting them a place beside Shor, son of Shor. They went with him, guarding the last path, the trail leading to Sovngarde, where Shor awaited the fallen. Stoon stood at its start, his gray shadow looming in the mist, at times rising above the ground.
Prove your strength, mortal,
He growled, meeting the souls of the slain. Tsun waited beyond, gliding through the shadows, his brown pelt flickering in the gloom.
Catch me.
He whispered, testing their will. Centuries passed and Shor returned, yet again, as Wolfhearth, another incarnation of the great warrior. But the day came when he too fell, yet again, struck down by enemies in the lands of Tamriel. His soul trod the last path, and there upon the bones of Stoon that lay as a gray ridge in the mist, Tsun met him. The four eyes of the brown hound gleamed, his steps soft yet firm.
Prove you are Shor.
Tsun said, and Wolfhearth raised his spectral sword. They clashed amid the bones of his brother, and satisfied with his strength, Tsun stepped back.
You are home,
He said, and the gates opened to Shor, waiting in the feasting halls, while the elves, of course, still bicker over whose victory it was. Thus Stoon and Tsun, Hounds of Shor, became brothers to Shor. Their howls echo in the storms of Atmora. Their four-eyed shadows flicker in the night. They guard the last path, faithful to their father and brother. And Trin, the youngest, with the golden pelt that captivated the elves, vanished in their grasp, bearing Shor's heart in his jaws. His fate a different song, to be sung later.